And just so everyone who's new here, to preface this before I go into the video, I'm a leading puzzle game tournament organizer at an organization called Puzzle Kingdom, for those who may not know me. And in the Tetris community, we have had instances of strained relations with developers and publishers regarding legality of games and all that stuff. So the reason why I've been covering this, despite the fact that I'm outside of Smash, is that we come from a home with a very similar situation, albeit of a smaller community size. I'm hoping that my insight could prove to be useful for other outsiders or members of my community in learning about the situation. What's up, everyone? So welcome back to another one of these talking videos. Over the past few days or so after I made my last video on November 30th about the Smash World Tour, there have been a number of updates, and after asking people on Twitter, they said they enjoyed my coverage. So I decided to make another video kind of updating the state of affairs. Since I made my last video, there have been statements from Nintendo and Smash World Tour again, and we finally have a statement from Panda that I'm going to break down, talk about my opinions, and kind of see where everything stands now. So, the first thing that dropped since my last video is this statement right here from Nintendo, published through an IGN article, headlining Nintendo issues full statement over Smash World Tour cancellation. Now, in my personal opinion, before I show you this, I'll just say this. I kind of think this statement is quite a lot of a nothing burger. If we scroll down, I will read the entirety of Nintendo's statement as follows. Nintendo would like to explain to all Super Smash Bros. Fans and interested parties the background and rationale related to our decision to not grant a license to Smash World Tour for their upcoming activities. Nintendo's decision was solely based on our assessment of the proposals submitted by the Smash World Tour and our evaluation of their unlicensed activities. This decision was not influenced by any external parties such as Panda Global. Any partner that we license has to meet high standards we require when it comes to health and safety of our fans. It's also important that a partner adheres to brand and IP guidelines and conducts himself accordingly when it comes to professional and organizational best practices. We use the same approach to independently assess all partners. If we discover that a partner is doing something inappropriate, we will work to correct it. When we notified the Smash World Tour that we had not licensed their 2022 or 2023 activities, we also let them know verbally that we were not requiring they canceled the 2022 Finals event because of the impact it would have on players. Thus, the decision to cancel the Smash World Tour was and still is their own choice. Now, as I was reading this, I didn't intend to cut in, but I feel like it's worth noting. In my last video, I kind of mentioned that Nintendo may use the argument where they say that they don't want to directly cancel the Smash World Tour, but they did say that they would not be issuing them a license for any of their 2022 or 2023 activities, and they expect all tournament organizers that are running commercial activity to receive a license from Nintendo. And since Nintendo was aware, this is basically free reign for if they decide to run the Smash World Tour over these coming weekends, they would have most likely received a cease and desist from Nintendo. That is basically what we are seeing right here. This is like this kind of legal manipulation of words where they didn't directly say, we're requesting that you cancel Smash World Tour, but they are saying that events cannot operate without licenses, and we're not giving you a license. It's basically a roundabout way to say that they want to cancel the Smash World Tour, and that they do not want this event to happen. Lots of people have been misunderstanding this specific point on Twitter, which is why I wanted to cut in before the rest of my read finishes, so I get this out of the way right away. This is legal jargon. It does not necessarily change VG Bootcamp's interpretation being wrong or not, because I think they had the right interpretation of their motives all along. This is the closest that Nintendo wants to get to saying that they'll be canceled, so they don't technically take any legal blame before they had to send out something along the lines of a cease and desist, if that makes sense. It would be stupid for VG Bootcamp to take the risk of getting cease and desisted after starting the event and potentially losing even more money, and then you have players who fly out to this event and it gets canceled midway through. That is worse than allowing them to change their accommodations for the weekend. Even if refunds, all that stuff are going to be difficult, at least more time is not going to be wasted, if that makes any sense. We are open to partnering with other organizations and will continue to offer licenses for major tournaments outside of the Panda Cup, Panda Global will continue to be a key partner, and we look forward to receiving proposals from other groups for tournament licenses. In the meantime, Panda continues to advocate on behalf of the Super Smash Bros. Community, even to the point that Panda has advocated for other organizations and tournaments to work with Nintendo, such as the Big House and the organizers of the Smash World Tour, to benefit from the larger Super Smash Bros. Community. Nintendo cares about Super Smash Bros. Fans and its community very much, and we hope to continue to hear their passionate feedback. We are committed to working hard to bring joy and fun to the community through tournaments, while also ensuring we and our partners are operating in a manner that's positive and responsible. As for the rest of the statement, there are some interesting things said here, but we'll get back to that because I'd rather corroborate that with the words from the Panda statement that came out. But now we have kind of something in the middle here coming from the organizers of the Smash World Tour. They gave an update based on Nintendo's statement, which will give a little bit more clarity on that, and then I want to talk about what Panda is saying. So here we have Smash World Tour's official statement, in which they're responding to Nintendo's statement. And they are saying, "We are struggling to understand why Nintendo contacted us at all last week if they truly wanted us to continue operating. We're struggling to understand why they simply would not reach out to us after the event, rather than rush to meet with us before the Thanksgiving holiday break, just 2 weeks before our championship event. Regardless, we stand by our first follow-up and would like to reiterate that we received our notice in writing from Nintendo. We also received a direct response to our questions in our call about if we could continue running the upcoming championships and the 2023 tour with the unofficial mutual understanding that we would not be shut down. We were told directly that those times are over. And again, we would like to reiterate that in our call, we asked Nintendo directly if they understood the impact of canceling both the upcoming championships and the 2023 Smash World Tour. In particular, we brought up the international players traveling to the championships as well as multiple documentary teams. In response to this question, Nintendo responded that they were confident from A to Z all consequences have been evaluated in making this decision, specifically acknowledging the fallout scenarios that included some positive, some negative, and some really negative. We're also struggling to understand what Nintendo's statement means for tournament organizers in general and the potential implications made about unlicensed events. Many organizers have already reached out to us asking if Nintendo's response is a statement of public permission to run unlicensed events. We are wondering this as well. However, maybe the most disappointing and concerning portion of Nintendo's statement was this quote. And here they kind of quote this line where they said that Panda Global will continue being their partner. I just read it a bit ago. This is especially concerning given that Nintendo has been aware of Panda's behavior for quite some time, so much that they directly told us on multiple occasions that it would be addressed. Yet even after countless corroborating testimonies from other community leaders and organizers, Nintendo continues to back Panda as a key partner and claims that Panda continues to advocate on behalf of the Smash Bros. Community. We are incredibly grateful for all the community support and corroboration regarding the truth of our claims. We understood it was a significant risk to come forward with all this, but we feel now more than ever that it was absolutely necessary. Especially given this recent statement by Nintendo, we believe this may be one of the most important times the Smash community has ever faced. We stand by our conclusion of our initial statement. We urge Nintendo to please reconsider how they are proceeding in their approach to the Smash community and to please reevaluate their relationship with key partners who are causing so much damage. Signed, Smash World Tour. Now, the interesting thing about this statement is it reiterates all the stuff that we talked about in the past. Nintendo's very vague language hinting that they do not want this circuit to operate anymore, that they don't want unlicensed tournaments to operate anymore, then 180ing and giving it this weird PR flip to the public and to news publishers. Of course, the true intentions are probably outlined in the direct private statements. I see no reason why we should try and drop those and not think of them, as these were very clear warnings to VG Bootcamp and other associated organizers of what could happen if they try to continue pushing these tournaments without licenses. They were clearly trying to give a subtle warning. I don't see why this script should be flipped now, if that makes sense. And there are some theories as to why the Smash World Tour did not receive a license, particularly regarding other barred players from the community. They don't seem to be very specific to VG Bootcamp on what exactly their issues are. They have even said, as quoted in VG Bootcamp's previous statement, that they are being vague and can only talk in generalities. So I don't see how anyone can expect VG Bootcamp to correct things to get a Nintendo license when they aren't exactly being told what is the problem with, let's say, their venue security. And according to people who have testified in tweets, I don't have the link right now to show, but I will put a screenshot right here. Apparently, they have pretty par venue security at their past few majors within the past few years. And not a lot of people seem to expect Panda to do any better at a Panda Cup finale in terms of security. They just expect general venue security, which is what VG Bootcamp has been offering at their events. And now we have some more corroboration from Beyond the Summit's co-founder, saying that if Nintendo is truly concerned about the health and safety of the Smash community, they shouldn't be tying their boat to a backroom bully, let alone doubling down on Alan and Panda Cup. The Smash community has called out Alan for his conduct behind closed doors with a unified voice. Alan said nothing. He continues to say nothing. This full statement fails to address the elephant in the room. I must urge Nintendo to reevaluate their relationship with Alan and the Panda Cup. Truly, I hope this is a case of the right hand not knowing what the left is doing, which I am also hoping is true right there. But now it is time to go over the Panda statement. What is in the Panda statement? And here we go, the Panda statement that just came out about 30 minutes ago from the recording of this video in its entirety. I will read it out to you all. Links are also in the description. And then we will see reactions to this, what I think of this, and how I think all this ties together. The team that manages and administers the Panda Cup has worked diligently to create an exciting, welcoming environment for competitive Smash throughout 2022. Behind this effort are over 40 members of the Smash community, including video editors, web developers, talent managers, sponsorship salespeople, and more, who provide resources, expertise, and logistical help to 10 major events this year. As a result, the Panda Cup began and continues to be a project of passion that seeks to magnify and enhance community efforts made throughout competitive Smash. We are all as surprised as the public to see the announcement of the Smash World Tour Championships cancellation, as well as the accompanying statement which attacked the hard work and ethics of those behind the Panda Cup. The team was not informed of any intention to cancel the Smash World Tour Championship 2022, nor has the team ever engaged in conversations that sought those ends. As Nintendo of America indicates in their own statement, the organizers of the Smash World Tour were not required to cancel the 2022 championship event, and any implication that the Panda Cup team had any influence in that regard is false. We were excited to see a fruitful year of competition come to an end with both the December circuit events and Smash World Tour's decision to cancel theirs is disappointing. Panda has listened to the community and changed some of our approaches to working with tournaments based on that feedback. In the Smash World Tour statement, there are a number of accusations leveled against Dr. Allen, the CEO of Panda. In reality, Dr. Allen, as Nintendo America has corroborated, has been one of the more vocal supporters of the battle community and the Smash World Tour organizers in internal conversations. However, the Panda Cup team does acknowledge and regret an interaction between Dr. Allen and Beyond the Summit, in which he spoke in a manner which did not reflect either guidance from Nintendo or our own standards. Panda took efforts to rectify the situation immediately, and in the second half of the year, a dedicated team made up of multiple staff members was assembled to manage Panda Cup activities and serve as the primary point of contact for event runners, removing the possibility of future miscommunications from occurring. The Panda Cup team has invested thousands of hours of work into making sure this year's Cup has been as strong of an offering as we can provide, and we look forward to continuing to build alongside the communities we serve a promising future for Smash. Now let's see some reactions. The part where they referenced Nintendo's statement as some form of backup and corroborated truth is so beautifully stupid. It's like you made an AI write the statement and all you told it is, Alan equals good, Nintendo equals never wrong, only reference your own hearsay as proof. This looks like something I did in 10 minutes for an English class that required a word count, but I didn't actually read the topic. No way they used the draft I DM'd them last night? Y'all think they're paying me? Blah, blah, blah. We did not do that shit. LMFAO, blah, blah, blah. Blah, 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 blah. Except for that one thing with BTS, our fault. Panda logo new.png. Nintendo. Wait a couple days before I post, then you can post yours exactly the same. Okay, little kitten? Hee hee, okay, baby, I listen. I love you. And this kind of explains how I feel about this and my initial reactions after covering the situation last. They just kind of say a bunch of like nonsense about we're so sad to see Smash World Tour Championships canceled. This stuff from Nintendo's statement, read that, it's pretty good. Man, we might have fucked up with BTS. And we have a relations team now, but we did fuck up with BTS. But don't worry, we spent so much time on this. And the thing that I hate the most about the statement is how it tries to throw out that VG Bootcamp was shitting on the entirety of the Panda Cup team when clearly, if you read VG Bootcamp's initial statement about the cancellation of the Smash World Tour, it very much outlined the actions of one man and one man only, being Dr. Allen. It did not toss anyone of the Panda Cup team under the bus, specifically told people to not target members of Panda's team. Because it's not shitting on their work or their event, it's shitting on actions by Dr. Allen, which how they responded to Dr. Allen's actions shows that there was clearly some stuff going up. They didn't admit to all of it, but they did mention the Allen versus Beyond the Summit thing, which has been heavily corroborated by so many sources in the scene that they probably could not escape talking about it. And still, as of this time, on Allen's personal Twitter, nothing has been posted. I'll even refresh right now just to see if Allen has posted or retweeted anything. This has only came out on the Panda Twitter, not Allen's Twitter or the Panda Cup Twitter. Now, what do I think all of this means? As I mentioned earlier, 1. There's no reason why we should believe that running the Smash World Tour Championship, even after these Nintendo statements, is safe. Their vague wording in initial conversations was set up specifically for a PR move like this, to where they could not claim that they directly canceled the championship, despite saying that commercial events like this need to run with a license, and then they don't provide one or don't provide feedback for how they could obtain one in the next running year. The next thing we see is how flaky the communication between different parties in VG Bootcamp has been, given the kind of confusion that they are echoing from these updates. Clearly, Nintendo or someone is not being too clear with them on what they expect, especially considering in their first statement they talked about speaking only in generalities with Nintendo after a certain point where they mentioned that they couldn't say anything else after denying the license. And the next thing is, Panda is just trying to save face. There's no real apology here. It's just kind of a bunch of doubling down while trying to skate past the BTS issue really quick. In conclusion, I don't really think anything has been flipped on its head from what we've already seen from Smash World Tour's initial document. There's definitely some weird and wrong stuff going on here. At the very least, miscommunication, and at the very most, some actual devious acts from the side of Panda or Nintendo. It is likely just miscommunication. Seems like Nintendo is not doing or is not able to do a very good job at speaking about their licensing terms, as VG Bootcamp has not talked a lot about having clarity with these terms and licenses, and Panda is just deciding to serve Nothing Burger as their statement, which does not corroborate or close out anything except for like a half-hearted, sorry we got caught with the Allen and BTS incident. It will be interesting to see more community reactions come through, as this has literally just dropped, but I wanted to get out this clarification, as a lot of people are misunderstanding Nintendo's response to the Smash World Tour, not taking into account this legal jargon stuff, and people enjoyed my coverage, so I decided when I get home, I'd film another video to catch people up to speed. If you guys would like me to see another video covering a final synopsis after player reactions come out to this, let me know. And hopefully some of my insight regarding the legality and all this stuff as a tournament organizer and someone who runs a puzzle game organization that has strained communications with their own publisher is also valuable in this video. I hope that that is the case. But anyways, thank you all for watching. I'll see you all another time. Adios.